Welcome to video 9.3, and today we're going to be talking about how industrialization spread, and this time I'm going to do a better job of setting the timer. Alright, so Great Britain enjoyed a bunch of advantages that allowed them to industrialize, except soon the United States and the rest of Europe are going to industrialize. So think about, why did England do it first? The U.S. had some of the same advantages, if not more. They had plenty of land. They had plenty of labor. The United States probably had better natural resources than England. There were middle-class professionals with money that could start businesses. You got land, labor, and capital. And what happens is, during the War of 1812, the British blockade the United States. So they can't ship anything in themselves. You can't ship anything in yourself. You make it for yourself. And again, the United States begins with the textile industry first. What's interesting, though, is the British actually tried to prevent other countries from learning the secrets of its machines. It was illegal for a while there for British engineers and mechanics to leave the country. But one of the two people that get credit for it is Samuel Slater. He slipped out of the country, gets to the U.S., rebuilt a spinning machine from memory, and the textile industry takes off in America. Hello. Another person who gets credit is Francis Cabot Lowell. He mechanized every step of the textile process. He built those factories in Massachusetts. One of those places now called Lowell, Massachusetts. He hires thousands of girls who worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and they had all these rules they had to live by. Why would they come? They earned more money at home, and sometimes it was a decent alternative to being a servant where they were, and they weren't on the farm anymore, they were in the city. So this is an important thing, because it makes sense. Like, people ask, why would you go? And that's why they would go. They're getting out of their parents' house, they can earn some money, and it's better than some of the jobs they could have. So clothing industry and shoe industry industrialized. There's the cotton mill, Lowell, Massachusetts. Obviously, the Civil War plays a part in slowing down American industry. But after the Civil War takes off, why did it take off? Again, natural resources, inventions. You get the growing urban population, the city. And once the Civil War is over in America, the railroads take off. All right? And railroads themselves grow into a huge business, ship grain and goods across the United States. America and other countries start using a business model known as the corporations. Businesses that issued stocks became known as corporations, or businesses that existed as separate entities from their owners. And stocks are shares of ownership in the corporation, and entitle the stockholder to a percentage of the profits or worth of the company. So basically, you own one brick of the company. The company makes money, you get a percentage of that profits. In the United States, Rockefeller, Carnegie, all right. The Napoleonic Wars, those 30 or so years, set Europe back. They're all jealous because England's taken off. You know, everybody's jealous. They're haters. One of the places we see is Belgium, and again, almost the same story. They have an advantage with natural resources and waterways. A British mill worker smuggled the industrial technology to Belgium. All right, Germany had spots of resources. They imported their engineers, and they sent German kids to England to be educated, and they built railroads. As Germany industry grew, their military grew also. In fact, one could argue their industry grew because of the amount of money they're spending to build their military. Spain, parts of Italy, France industrialized. In the other video, we saw how quickly France grew. So again, with Russia, geographic features slowed into industrialization, as transportation and other things make it hard for them to do it. But I like this picture here. This says industrialization by 1850, and the little triangles are coal, iron, you got textile, all right, you got silk, and notice the number of cities that are major cities, and it booms pretty quickly. All right, good. This is the railroads on the continent. What basically led the United States, Belgium, and Germany, and many other countries to industrialize? What prevented some countries from industrializing? One of the impacts of industrialization is the spreading gap again between the rich and the poor. And not only did it spread the gap between the rich and the poor in your country, it spread the gap between the rich and the poor countries. And what happened is these industrialized countries started needing raw materials they couldn't get and places to sell finished goods. So what do they start doing? They start taking over countries. Britain, France, Germany, Russia, Japan, and the United States all go after colonies or territories where they could get raw materials and new markets. So imagine America as a factory. You need raw materials to come in, and then you need somewhere the stuff that goes out to sell, and that's the new markets. Industrialization made it, again, think about a factory as literally a place for machines. You can make machine guns and things like that. It led to a lot of luxuries, health and life expectancy booms, all right? Despite the hardships in the short term. In the long term, industrialization helped. Education booms for the middle class. Some other inventions, you get the first transatlantic message was sent by telegraph cable in 1866. You get the first electric battery. You get the telegraph invented by Samuel Morse. By the way, how awesome is the name of the guy who invented the battery? All right, guys? Let's just do this real quick, and then I'll cut her off. You should be able to answer those. Peace. Bye. Wait.